Hi and welcome to Scholar Tutorial. I'm Jay and in this tutorial we're talking about tests and exams. This opportunity owns the account that is logged in, and this opportunity happens to be a teacher on the school platform. Now when we talk about the tests and the exams, we're going to use her portfolio as SS2A maths teacher to work on the tests and exams that as tests and records of the students. Now when we click on this menu item, we'll be presented with the interface whereby we can use to work on that. Now this is the home page of our portfolio as SS2 maths teacher. Now if you look at this, we have that the assignments, we have 3 assignments that we're giving, tests, we have 2 tests and 2 projects and 1 exam. Now when we choose one of these, which is test, we'll have the capability of working on the test record of the students. Now currently we have 2 tests that has been given to the students. We have the BOTT and the midterm test. Now each of these tests we can actually work on them to record the students performance or results in those tests. Now we have explanation of a brief explanation of the test in question. We have the maximum score of the test and the weight of the test. Then we'll have the summary of the academic performance of the students in that particular test here. Here specify the highest score, average score, lowest score, the student that didn't participate in the test, and the student that scored above the highest score, the average score, and the number of students that test has been recorded, and the total number of students that offers the subject mathematics in SS2A. That's this last one. Now when we have this access to this particular interface, we can actually click on this. When we click on this, we'll have access to the test results, and we can actually record the results of the students. If you look at this, we'll have that these first 3 students, their results are currently active on the platform. Therefore their results will be used as an authentic result on the platform, while this other result is not recognized in the platform because it's currently active. Now if you want to activate it, you click on this and it becomes activated, and these ones are okay. Now if we click on that right now, that particular result becomes activated, and we can actually use it too. If you look at it right now, this particular score has been very much active already, and all of them will be active and can be used on the platform right now. You can choose to deactivate it. When you click on that and click submit, it will go back to the previous state of not being active on the platform. And if you look at it this way, we have that these are the all, and when we click on active, find out that this one will no longer be there because it's no longer active. And we can actually click here to go back to the previous interface. Now we can actually use this particular import as Excel to import an Excel file onto the platform. Using this particular it makes it easy to actually update all the record at once, as in specify the other test scores against the reg number. I upload it, and all the test scores will be updated appropriately. When we click on this download Excel formats, we have access to download this. When we save it on our computer, we can then fill it up, the reg number and their scores. Then we can then use this other that is this. We can use this to choose that file, that is the test result, and click here and import it under the platform, and automatically the result will be uploaded on the platform. Now we can go back there, and when we get back there, we can choose to create another test. Now when we choose to create another test, we can specify the name of the test, and specify the max score of the test and the weight of the test. When we save, the test become one of the tests there that will be listed here among here. Then we can actually go forward by using this particular interface here to actually record the test. The test will be listed here. Maybe it becomes the latest one. Then we'll click on it and we can actually record the results of the students for that particular test. Now for the exam, we'll click on this particular use this particular navigation there and go to the exam interface. Exam is only one exam, and the exam is actually created by the vice principal or the HOD of your department or another person that has been assigned to do so. You're not allowed to create an exam very short because the weight is a uniform weight that's going to be what uniform across many different subjects. Now, here it shows that the weight was as created by the vice principal or anybody that actually did that at that point in time. Created and specified that the weight is 75 and the mass score is what 100. That is, this mass score is the mass score that was specified by this user, which is a bit children. Nevertheless, you can update the maximum score of the exam by clicking using this particular interface. When you click on this edit, you're presented with this particular interface, and it says that for the name of the exam is this and the maximum score is this. We can actually change the maximum score. Then we can assign CBT. This interface gives us access to assign CBT to this particular exam. Now, currently there has been 2 CBTs that have been created by this subject teacher. Now, if you created it through using this particular menu items here. Now, after this creation, they will appear here, and she can choose any of them and submit it. Then that particular CBT will now be assigned as one of those ones that should be taken for this particular exam. Now, and like for example, this one that has been assigned that this CBT will be taken for this exam, you can actually click here to assign student to that. Now, when you click here, you will be presented with the interface whereby you assign the student that's supposed to take they are going to take it. Like, it's only this particular student that is going to take this particular CBT. And remember that you can assign multiple students to actually take this CBT. This is in a situation that in a situation whereby all of them cannot actually take a CBT at a particular point in time. They have to take it at, let's say, 1 p.m. Then the other people will take it by 2 p.m. Now, this is how you can actually achieve that. Then the other editing which you can actually carry out on this particular this thing is actually viewing the detail of that exam. Now, you can view the detail of that exam through this, and you can see how the updates has been how updates has been made on it, while the CBT was reassigned, and this other one was done by Oteejay, which happens to be the HOD. And just like that, we can actually have to view how this update has been carried out over a period of time by different members of staff on the school system. Now, remember how you can actually do this. You can actually select. When you select this one, it means that 2 of these CBTs will be assigned to 2 of these CBT will be taken for this particular exam. Then when you select this particular one, you will be required to assign student to take it. But if you look at this one, you find out that one student already assigned to take the regular CBT, meaning that this particular CBT may have been used by either the test or the normal exam or the CBT or the entrance exam for this particular class and for this particular SS2A mathematics. Now, this procedure we use to actually assign CBT and assign CBT to this particular exam can also be used to assign CBT to test and entrance exam. It is also applicable when you want to assign a student to actually take the CBT from the list of students that offers the subject for that particular class. Now, remember the procedure. The procedure is that you try to edit the particular exam or test, and from there you can actually have access to assigning CBT to that particular exam or test, because that's really a method of one of the editing process of the exam or test. Now, we can actually click here to actually carry out to record it. Now, when we click here, we can actually record the exam results of the students, and this one, the exam result of this student has not been recorded. This one shows the particular CBT test. It shows that a CBT was scheduled for this particular exam for the student, and it shows the name of the CBT and the time the CBT was supposed to be held. So when the student actually does that CBT, the result of that CBT will be shown here, and this is the result of that CBT will be added to this particular score that has already been added, but already been specified by the subject teacher. But in the case whereby it's only the CBT, the subject teacher will no longer need to specify anything. The CBT will automatically be used for this exam. Now, likewise, this particular capability is also It's also applicable in tests when you specify a test to be actually be done through CBT. Now, just the way we can import Excel file for tests, we can also import Excel file for exams. Now, when we click on this, we can actually have access to view how the record of the exam has been changed over time. The score was recorded previously as 89, is now recorded as 91, and it was changed by Oteejay. Now we can then go back to our results, and we'll have access to this. Then the other part of it is this: when we click on results, we have two things there that we have not really talked about. We can actually click on this position. When we click on this position, we can actually rank. We use this place to rank the student according to their score. We refresh anytime we make any updates. We refresh this particular data and to re-rank the student according to their position in the arm and their position in the class. Now we'll click here to go back. When we click the refresh, due to the fact that we didn't change anything, it will still remain the same thing. Now we can click here to download this particular summary of this exam as an Excel file. When we click on that and view this Excel file, we'll find out that we have access to the summary. We have that this third term, that the total score is this and the weight is this, and some of all those things. And for the summary, we have that the name of the exam is this, the total of the student that was recorded is 3, the student that was not recorded is this, is 0, the recorded is 3, absent, and we have a summary, and we can actually present this to a penny panel. It's required of us. Then we have that entrance exam. Now in a situation whereby the vice president specified that we should be processing the entrance exam results of each student that are supposed to come into SS2 for mathematics, their entrance exam on mathematics. We will have this interface here, and clicking on it there, we will be able to perform that particular schedule. Now when we click on each and any of these ones, we'll have access to actually viewing the entrance exam of those people that apply to come to the school. Then we can actually record their results on the platform. This is one of the applicants, and the person scored this, and we can have multiple applicants, and they are each of their score will be there, and we can actually record it for them. Then after this recording of this, in this first user will have access to view this particular exams record of those entrance exams, and with the device we can use that to mark them, to score them, as the case may be. We can upload a test file using their scratch card information to specify who they are. That is, if we want to download the Excel format through which we can actually use to fill it up and have multiple registration. We have the pin of the scratch card the student using, and for registration and the score in that particular entrance exam. We have the results. We can actually see it here. We have two other persons there. We have that one of them is no longer active. Now we can go back. When we go back to the platform, we can actually access this one also. We can actually access this one also, as the case may be, and we can also add new entrance exams. If it were to be that it's not just one entrance exam that was taken by the students. At this juncture, we have come to the end of this tutorial. We look forward to seeing you next tutorial, and make sure to sign up on our scholars.